Today's products are selling like crazy. I can't decide if it's genius or completely ridiculous.
Welcome back, I hope you had a great week. Today we're recreating 3 Etsy products that are somehow selling really well. The good news is you can build every one of them from whatever wood you've got lying around. Or you can use Wing It, if you enjoy turning $50 worth of hardwood into $15 worth of profit. We're kicking things off with the simplest build. I'm using pine and plywood because that's what I had. Turns out you don't actually need imported hardwood blessed by woodworking influencers to make something useful. These clean pine boards are actually from the furniture I tore apart in my last video, so if you're wondering where I keep finding free timber, that's your homework after this one. Don't worry, there won't be a test. By now you probably know I consider my printer an essential woodworking tool. Sure, you can draw your own templates if you're blessed with talent. I'm not taking that risk. Thanks to the magic of editing, this glue up has been drying for all of the 3 seconds. See, I was a lion. Up to this point it's basically a primary school project, right up until the part where we introduced a machine capable of removing fingers. I know some of you have seen this before, but we've got plenty of new people here now, so here we go again. Masking tape goes first, then I glue the template to the tape. It's one of those little tricks that saves a lot of time, which is great because I usually waste it somewhere else anyways. Right, enough arts and crafts, it's finally time for some proper woodworking. Let's fire up the bandsaw, remove everything that doesn't belong and try our best to stay on the line, unlike me in most of other areas of life. Go slow and be as precise as possible. This is one of those rare moments where laziness doesn't actually save time. Every mistake you make here will be waiting for you later with interest. Some of you probably have a proper bench sander. I don't, so this is my highly engineered version, also known as clamping a belt sander upside down. If it looks stupid but it works, it's still going in the video. The templates have done their job. Now it's time to drown this thing in oil and pretend I knew it would look this good all along. Ladies and gentlemen, the first money shot of the day. I think this turned out awesome. If you disagree, feel free to keep that to yourself. Similar projects are selling on Etsy for about £50, which is $65, which isn't bad for about 30 minutes of work. Next up is something I'm calling a weekend friend. This was an absolute pain to make, which means there is at least 90% chance people will love it. Thankfully, it turned out pretty good in the end. A solid piece of pine would have been far too sensible, so I made another scrap wood and plywood glue up instead. Cut at an angle of course, because apparently I can't build anything without confusing at least a few people in the comments. As usual, the bandsaw is doing most of the hard work. I'm just a bloke standing next to it pretending to be in charge. You'll need a 1.5 inch and 3/4 inch Forstner bit for this one. A pillar drill is highly recommended. Of course you can do it by hand, if your goal is to discover new swear words.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Not everything in life goes according to plan. If it did, half of my videos would be 3 minutes long. Instead, we fix it and keep moving forward. After my little learning experience, I'm adding a layer of plywood for reinforcement. Better safe than sorry. There's still more drilling to do, and I'd rather not turn this into firewood. Back to the pillar drill we go. Hopefully this time it'll behave itself and we can all get on with our lives. Time to change the 1.5 inch Forstner bit for the 3/4 of an inch version. If you are wondering why 2 of the holes stop halfway, congratulations, you've been paying attention. Now we're drilling the rest of the way through it. Yep, you guessed it, the roundover bit is back, and I promise this won't be its last appearance today. Let's soften those sharp edges, head back to the bandsaw and cut this thing once again. If you figured out what I'm building, now's the perfect time to drop your guess in the comments. I'd love to see who got it right and who's confidently wrong. My highly sophisticated sanding machine is still clamped to the bench. Let's see if I can sand this masterpiece without launching itself across the workshop. The roundover bit is back once again, which can only mean one thing. We're getting dangerously close to the famous oil rub. Some of you wait for this part more than the actual project. You know who you are. I think this looks pretty good. If you think so too, feel free to tell me in the comments. I promise I'll read every single compliment. These are selling on Etsy for about 20 bucks or 15 pounds, which isn't bad for a few bits of wood and a little workshop time. The last project is definitely on the rustic side, and yes, the blowtorch enthusiast can finally relax. Your moment has arrived. Enjoy some music and workshop noises while I finish this up. I'll be back in a minute to reveal the finished project and the slightly ridiculous price people are actually paying for this on Etsy. I don't mind the rustic look at all. Plywood versions sell for about 20 bucks or 15 pounds, while solid wood ones often go for 55 or more. Apparently, the timber is doing most of the negotiating. As always, don't forget to like and leave a comment. They're completely free, unlike walnut. Now, go and watch one of these videos. I'll see you in the next one.